We were discussing what subject we should have for the tech session, and Kenji said what is currently still a big problem is the LHM DOT problem in the two CVs. Apparently many people still don't know the difference about brake fluid, DOT brake fluid versus the LHM in the disc brake system. So keep in mind, absolutely crucial, every 2CV ever built with disc brakes is LHM, which is the green fluid, like in the DS for the hydraulic, which looks like that. Everything with drum brakes on the front wheels is standard DOT brake fluid. These two fluids don't mix. If you mix it, then basically what you do is you destroy the entire brake system. Let's start from scratch. DOT brake fluid is glycantine based. It withstands high temperatures because when you brake a lot, the brakes get hot, very hot, they can even glow. And if you would have a fluid that doesn't withstand the high temperature, it just turns into steam. You have a gas in the brake system which is compressible, so your hydraulic system is messed up and you have so-called brake fading. So you need a fluid that doesn't turn into steam at the temperature that the brakes can reach. So the glycantine-based DOT does that. This is why it's been used in most vehicles to the day. But Citroen came up with a different solution back in the early 80s, late 70s. They wanted to equalize all their vehicles with the same green LHM fluid, which basically is an ingenious approach. LHM stands for liquid hydraulic minerale, which is a mineral oil. Same thing here, the mineral oil turns into steam at a quite high temperature, so you can use it instead of brake fluid. At the same moment, they equalized all their vehicles with the same fluid only. It was just green fluid LHM. Now the bad part about it is when you have a DS or another hydraulic Citroen, you have that big reservoir for the hydraulics. So every mechanic would know this is a hydraulic system, so nobody would have the idea to put brake fluid in that. When you look into a 2CV, you have the master brake cylinder with the reservoir. So every mechanic who does not really know the difference will automatically put standard DOT brake fluid into that. When that happens, keep in mind we have mineral oil. Now you look into rubber. We have rubber parts in the brake system. We have O-rings, we have seals. Rubber is normally dissolved by oil. Bad idea. So we have a special rubber here in the LHM system that withstands mineral oil. But it will be dissolved by DOT brake fluid and vice versa. If you put LHM in the DOT system, you will also kill all your rubber seals and your O-rings. What happens in a later model disc brake 2CV, when you put even a small amount of brake fluid into it, for a while nothing will happen. It works just fine. Just today I had a car here on the field which had only DOT in the brake system, and it's been like this for years. It still drives. But I was looking closer and the reservoir on the master brake cylinder is very sensitive. It wiggles because the rubber grommets where it sits in, where you push it in, they had swollen up from the DOT brake fluid and they're slowly squeezing the reservoir out. So it won't take long until the reservoir just falls off. And then everybody would agree we have a big problem here. But that's an extreme situation. The normal situation would be if you have the DOT brake fluid in an LHM system, the O-rings will swell up. For a while you wouldn't notice any difference. But then after time, the brakes start behaving a little funny. It could be that the master brake cylinder, you push on the brakes, the car will stop, you get off the pedal, and the brake cylinder doesn't come back, it's stuck down there. And then it takes a while to come back. That is one symptom. Another symptom will be more severe. It's also on the front brakes, on the calipers. You push on the brakes, you always have the force through the hydraulic system to push the pistons out, so the car will stop. But then when you get off the brakes, the pistons don't come back, so they seize. And I've seen many cars doing like that. If you have to move the car off the street, what helps is usually you take an 8mm wrench, you open the bleeding valve, get a squirt of LH or DOT fluid, whatever it's in the system, about that high, you tighten it again, you can go again. The pressure is released, you can drive again until you push on the brakes for the next time. But if you have a car like this, just get it home or to the next shop, don't drive it anymore. Reason again is O-rings are swelling up, they deteriorate with DOT brake fluid. I have a little sample here, you can hand that through. When you look against the light, you can see the separation line right here. Bottom, this is drained from a 2CV master brake cylinder. The bottom is LHM, the top is DOT. Like water and oil, these fluids don't mix. And when you hand it around, be careful not to shake it, because then the fluids will mix. And you can see when you look against the light on the separation line, it's black. And this is rubber particles from the dissolved rubber. So hand that through.